Hello, welcome to season 27 of the American Woodshop. I'm Suzy Phillips.
And I'm Scott Phillips, and it's hard to imagine 27 years. Thank you to all the stations over America that have been with us all these years. Tell us about what's up.
The biggest project of the season, my she barn.
On a budget, and you can do it with basic tools, so stay with us to learn how you too can build your very own space.
The American Woodshop with Scott Phillips is brought to you by
Woodcraft, since 1928, providing traditional and modern woodworking tools and supplies to generations of craftsmen. Woodcraft, helping you make wood work.
Pro Tools, for tool pros. Rikon Tools.
Woodcraft Magazine. Projects, plans, and web links designed to help you make wood work. P.S. Wood, home of Timberwolf Swedish silicon steel bandsaw blades and super sharp scroll saw blades. A bed to sleep on. A table to share meals. A house that feels like a home. The Furniture Bank of Central Ohio, providing furniture to neighbors in need.
So a long time ago, Suzy and I had a dream of building the ultimate building on a budget. Now, tell us what you call this, Suzy.
Well, I call it my she barn.
Well, that it is.
Yep.
And we're using basic tools to build this. So come on inside. We'll give you the lay of the land. Now, there are two really important tools that you need to use. A battery-powered circular saw. This is 6.5, smaller blade, but that gets most of the job done on this structure. And a good hammer, a 22-ouncer. Tool belt and your business. Of course, we used a miter saw as well on the bigger pieces. And I want you to look at one thing here. These are posts that are engineered, and these engineered posts are laminated 1x8 here, and then it's joined to the ground. Let me move that so you can see it. By these metal plates, and the bolts are drilled into the concrete. Now, how construction did the concrete work? Out the door for everything, it was $7,800 on the concrete pad. And the whole rest of this structure, including all the posts that carry the second story, is all 1.5-inch thick southern yellow pine. Very solid material. The trim on the walls is metal trim. Now, Suzy, why you designed this barn and you had people draw it up, why this structure? What's it called?
I just love the look of it. I just thought it was, I like the open space, and I like that it had a loft, and I just love the look of it, and just kind of made my own adjustments and things.
Well, here's the other thing about this structure. Out the door for everything, it was $29,733. That includes the concrete work. We laid electrical conduit lines into the concrete beforehand, so that makes wiring easy. And then the structure itself, if you look up, see all this lattice work and all the ladders and the scaffolding, that will come off. And then when it does, this massive hand, this driftwood is going to go up there. The hand of destiny right there. And we're going to use a chain hoist to crank it up there. You are. Your father knows you got it in you. Okay, the other thing is you got to see the second story, because that's what makes this monitor-style barn. Let's go on up.
Welcome to my loft. This is going to be my absolute favorite space. I'm going to have a total of 10 windows up here, lots of light, looking out on the lake or into the woods. And I just can't wait to get it all finished and organized. It's going to be my wood burning and carving studio predominantly up here, and some painting. So I'm real excited.
Well, it makes me feel really good that I was able to build this with the help of some friends. And downstairs, Ron Howell helped us get the foundations poured and ready to roll. But Jeff Lang, Barry Gertner, Bill Gertner, his dad, Blair Brubaker, huge help, guys. Thank you so much, because without their help, this would have taken forever to build. Needed the manpower and woman power to get this done. So it's on a budget, and if you go to Facebook on the American Woodshop and our website, there are more details on how you too can do this, because the plan is available at no charge. It's just about building your dreams. Now, speaking of budget, these are corkscrew willow limbs, and she carves them for walking staffs, wood burns them, but they're also going to become the safety railing all the way around. That's going to take all season, and you'll see this barn shop come to fruition this season. But now let's head downstairs to work on the barn doors. These are beautiful ponderosa pine doors. Let's get to it.
All right, let's go. Scott, I love what you did with the barn doors. They're absolutely awesome, and I love that we can open it up wide. How did you do it?
Okay, good question. It's all about the trolley, because these doors that are 6 feet wide and 10 feet tall weigh a ton with the tongue and groove ponderosa pine here. And everything here, these metal pieces, is called tab lock. If you look right here, you see how that piece of metal bends into that little cutout of the horizontal piece? Well, that locks together with a punch. And I'll tell you what, the key to all of this is the trolley. That goes up in the rail on the outside, and that's what makes this glide. And it locks onto that top metal piece. Why metal over wood? Well, this is galvanized. This is never going to rust, and it's super durable, real strong. I'm going to take this down so you can see the construction details. Let's get this down, Suzy.
Letting the sun in?
Whenever you're using tools of any kind, make sure you read, understand, and follow all the instructions that come with tools and products you use. These are safety glasses, prescription. Hearing protection is a must. Working outside, I'm not worried about the dust, but you don't want to breathe sawdust. Now let me make a cut. And now what you can see is the tongue and groove part of the board. There's the tongue, there's the groove. On these barn doors, they have to be tongue and groove. They can't glue up a solid piece because it would crack out. I'm going to make one more cut here. And these new brushless saws are absolutely spectacular. They hold a charge forever. And so these long pieces click together. Let me show you with the shorter pieces right here what I'm talking about. There's the groove, there's the tongue. And see, that will allow expansion and contraction. Up to a 1/16 of an inch per foot of width across the board. Now, Suzy, let's go ahead and finish these doors now that everybody sees what we're using. This is ponderosa pine. So same idea here. Let's show them the trim piece on the outside edge. You'll see this in a second when we flip it over. Now up and in, and of course, as we get it in there, got to get those weeds out of that groove. Okay. And it is a barn after all. You can expect to deal with that. Okay, that's good, it's in. Now I'll just tap it down with a rubber mallet until it's flush.
Yep, it's flush perfect down there.
Okay, it's just great. And now all these screw holes have been pre-drilled through these metal galvanized tab lock braces, 4 horizontals, 2 long-running verticals. And remember, you just use a punch to punch the tab down and in, and that locks it in like a mortise tenon joint. And now we'll just screw these in, making sure that everything's been pre-drilled. Okay, so now we'll get this all tight, set it up, put the X bracing in, and that's how you build a barn door.
Love it. Now there's just one more feature we need to show you on the inside of the barn. Come with me. Now, one of the coolest parts for Scott of this barn is going to be this corner, because it's Scott's corner. Because it is a she barn, but I'm not selfish, so welcome to your corner.
Let's see, a 6x6, what I've always wanted. I can do a lot in this space.
There you go, Scott's corner.
I've been sent to the corner once again.
Oh. Okay, we can finish working on the doors.
Okay.
There you go.
Everything's fastened through the metal now, and we're gonna walk this door up, walking it up the whole way. And now we have to put the X bracing on. And what that does is it keeps it square. So that's pre-cut, and that's angled in, square drive screws, 1.25 inches, deck screws so that it will never rust. So Suzy, I'm going to let you fill the rest of the field, keep it square. While she's working on that, off to the shop to make the barn sign, okay, with a scroll saw.
See you later.
I've drilled pilot holes in the wasting area of the sign, and I'll pull out the templates that I use to lay this out. And the most important thing is a big compass to lay out a 23.5-inch circle. You can cut that out on the scroll saw or the bandsaw. I use scroll saw for this. And it started out a 3/4-inch thick stock plywood. You want it to be A grade on the surface. This will all get painted down the road. And we're using this blade, which is a number 5, 12.5 teeth per inch. And I like this because it doesn't break and I can run it at full speed. And here, let me pop one piece out that I've already cut, just a straight cut. And the foam board on top is going to be my template for a matching sign. Got to have it left and right. So here's a star. The waste areas of the star will go out, so the red of the sign that you'll see with Tom Monahan, the siding, it'll pop right out when we do the barn in that red-black combination. So it's Phillips, Miller, and the stars will go like this, 2020. So, tips on using the number 5. Through the hole, we're going to pierce that blade through, and we're going to cut it out. And the blade is square to the table. Lock the blade in, get the puffer set up to blow it away. Keep your finger clear of the plane of the blade. That way you can never get cut. Let's turn it on. I'm going to add just a bit more tension. And now I just take the line. And the beauty of a scroll saw is you can absolutely split the line. Stay right on it. It's a matter of using the right blade, the number 5, having it tensioned well, and not putting side pressure on the blade. So I'm going to cut this out, and then I'm going to have the foam core pattern that I'll lay out on the other piece behind me, so I'll have an identical balanced look. And then when I come to do a turn, just a little bit of back pressure on the blade so you can pivot, and then just continue to make that cut. So I'll use this technique to scroll this all the way out. And now, through the magic of television, it's back to the barn to be with Tom Monahan to learn the best way to finish the barn doors. This is going to look awesome. Now, what's a perfect finish on, say, my sign for Suzy or the barn doors? Tom Monahan. I'll tell you what, he's the best finisher I know, par none. And honestly, you're going to show us the safe, California compliant finish. And for those folks out there, Tom, we're wearing safety glasses, N95 dust mask, that's key. And if you see us today without it, there's a huge crosswind. Well ventilated, right?
Perfect conditions today to spray.
Okay, so this is a safe and durable finish. Tell us what we're going to see today.
So we're going to spray, we got the 2 barn doors all prepped, sanded, and ready. They're rustic, which we like. We're going to spray, the general finish is lamp black milk paint, which is an exterior paint. It's going to weather extremely well on these doors. It's a perfect finish for this application.
Okay, and we're doing 2 colors because if you look closely, you can see this has been scalloped out like it's been hand hewn. This was machine done, tongue and groove, but the cool thing that you figured out was we get that base coat down, second color on, then distress it on the top. That's going to make that hewing pop out of there.
That's what we're going to make them look 100 years old when they're done today. You'll see it at the end of the day.
And then your wife Cheryl in her sign business, she has a sign for Suzy, which I personally think is a little sneaky, but okay, you'll see that at the end of the show. Okay, now let's get to it.
All right, here you go, take that.
So, on your spraying, give us your tips on how you like to spray and why.
I kind of think of it as just like I'm working with a brush. This is my brush. I just want to go nice, long, even strokes here.
And look at that point. He keeps it almost actually 8 inches away at all times.
Exactly. Just think of this as an extension of your hand. All this is, it's the same thing as a brush. So if you think about this, you'll get a brush-like finish with it.
Beautiful. And right now you have it on the vertical spray pattern.
Yep.
Okay. Beautiful.
Look at that.
Look at that.
You got a black door.
That's awesome.
There.
Man, Tom, after 45 minutes, it's bone dry.
It is. Perfect day for drying. Couldn't have had a better day to be spraying barn doors.
And it's really bringing out that grain. And by the way, this was all prepped 100 and 150, sanded lightly. Didn't need to do much to it.
No,
It was
not
in
at
good
all.
shape.
Just take the splinters off and the rough edges. The paint's going to soak in. You don't want to over sand it, especially on pine. So we sand 100 grit. That paint's got something to grab a hold of. So it's not just laying up on a slick surface. So that adhesion is going to be down. It's not going anywhere.
Now we've got red milk paint in here right now.
Yep.
And we're ready to spray that. And give us some pointers. What's the mission here?
Again, a couple of things. We only used total of about a pint of paint on these doors. So it's got great coverage, but the goal here now is that we're going to put a secondary color over top of it, and then we're going to wait about an hour and we're going to sand through that red and reveal the black and give you a real nice aesthetic looking, historically old looking door.
That's what we're shooting for. Okay, let's see it. Let's see it on
ready.
a budget. So you're really just trying to get a uniform film on the entire surface.
It's a nice even finish, and the reason for it, you just want it nice and even. We're spraying, about a 5 mil wet film, which means it's just got enough paint to give you good coverage and opacity. The red's a little bit thinner than the black as far as hide, so you can see I'm going to take a little longer and just do a little bit slower pass here.
Once you get this top coated, we're going to let that dry for an hour. And you said there was a window of opportunity for best distressing. Describe that for us.
Because the paint gets so hard, if you can sand it at any time, but it's easier to distress it within the first hour or two after it's dry. That way you're not having to bust through it, because it gets so hard as it dries out, it would require more aggressive sanding, and we don't want to chew the door up. We just want to knock the edges off so that that black pops through that red. Well, good thing it's an earth-friendly paint.
I like that idea.
I do too.
We can all make a difference if we just start thinking a little bit more about spending a little bit more to use products that are healthy for all of us. So the red coat's dried for an hour and a half, which is perfect now. What are you up to, Tom?
Well, we want to distress it and break through this first layer of paint and kind of reveal what's underneath, which is both the black and the wood, the pine itself. So when I come through, I'm just cutting with a piece of 180 grit sandpaper. I'm going to use the power sander, just it's quicker and more efficient. And then I'll come back and I'll do a light scuff sand in between just to kind of touch up the detail work. And then we'll be ready for a clear coat.
And the cool thing about this cordless sanding system now is the new technology. It's got built-in dust extraction, which works. And on top of it, it just is a perfect tool for the job. And the battery pretty much lasts all day.
I'm amazed at how long this battery has lasted. I used it on a job at home about 300 feet from the house, where I didn't have any electrical cords. So that's why I bought it, and I thank my wife for letting me do that. All right, let's just go here.
And you don't mind breaking through to the wood because we're all top coated.
Yeah,
With exterior 450.
exactly.
Black. And that's going to preserve the wood, but give us that 100-year-old look at the same time. And then with a block sander with 180, he just comes in and mellows it out just ever so slightly.
Just takes all that does, take the low spots off. What we want are the ribs. You know, we want to kind of show, just kind of we want that look of weathered wood. Although it's a brand new door. It's never been outside.
Okay, so we'll get this prepped, and then we'll spray on, after it's been tacked off thoroughly, the 450, or that's right.
Exterior 450, we're going to do a flat sheen because I want to mimic kind of the look of the paint. I don't want anything shiny on here because a brand new barn with brand new doors, really shiny doors, is just not right.
No.
So we're going to make it look old. So we're going to use a flat finish, which will dry on a day like today, and again, 1 hour it'll be ready, and we should be able to hang these doors by the end of the day.
And get the signs up. This is fun.
Woo! Let's go.
Tom, I've always been told surface prep is key, and so you've sanded this down to perfection. Now what's next?
We just wanted to make sure we got everything knocked down and wiped off. I just used the hose from the turbine to blow off most of the dust. And now we're just going to apply the 450 flat top coat because we want to mimic an old dry look, so I don't want to put anything shiny on here.
Right. I love the way the grain and the way it's hued pops right out. So,
So
I'll get to it. And
well, this is the frosting on the cake right here.
And remember, when you do spray, wear a respirator. He always does, but he can't do that and talk today. And so, how many coats of the top coat will it take for this?
Well, you know, for something like this, it's rustic, I'm just going to do the one.
Excellent.
But you could put on, normally outdoor, I would say 3 coats for furniture quality. The key here is, all I want to do is bring the color back up on the red, because when we sanded the red, kind of dulled it down, and I'm just restoring its color here.
I'm loving that look.
It's a sexy door.
It is beautiful. Nothing's too good for my girl. And I really appreciate your expertise on this.
How's that?
Learned a lot
See?
today.
That looks good.
That looks awesome. Oh, Mr. Tom, it's time for the reveal, and man, oh man, you nailed it. I'll tell you what, that's the look right there.
Looks good.
It makes it all come together. And so these are the biggest doors you've ever done.
You surprised me on that one. They're big doors.
But the hewing of the wood, I mean, it looks old. And Jeff Lang, slide that on in. That's about perfect right there. Jeff, Blair Brubaker, and Bill Gertner helped me build this barn. And I'll tell you what, I couldn't have done it without you, especially on the budget that I had. So thank you, guys. But we've got some good meals coming your way. Now, ladies, Cheryl and Suzy, Cheryl's Tom's wife, here we go, and see how that wood comes together right there. That's what you're shooting for. Suzy, Cheryl, outstanding. And then I think Tom did a great job finishing the logo. Every good barn needs a logo. The date it's built, 2020, the Miller Phillips barn, and the star for the love of my life. And so, autumn blessings. You just don't stop, do you guys?
No.
The Monahans. You guys are unbelievable. So that's how a barn comes together. And what are we going to do in this barn? We're going to have hops. We're going to brew beer. And most importantly, we're going to have all of our friends join us in a great barn party.
Right.
And then in the coming season, you'll see vignettes from the barn where Suzy's making it her own. So what's your #1 project that you're going to do here?
Carving.
Carving. See, right on spot. And painting those carvings.
And wood burning, yep.
But man, you talk about making things
Oh,
right.
I love them. They look so awesome and look like they've been here 100 years. I love it. Thank you. Tom.
You're welcome.
Man.
Thank you. Hats
You're
off
welcome.
to you.
Thank you for
Fabulous
the beautiful
job.
time, Cheryl. I love it.
Okay. Now, next week in the American Woodshop, shaker style clock. So join us then. Thanks for being with us, and God bless.
See ya.
Woodcraft since 1928, providing traditional and modern woodworking tools and supplies to generations of craftsmen. Woodcraft, helping you make wood work.
Pro Tools. For tool pros. Rikon Tools.
Woodcraft Magazine. Projects, plans, and web links designed to help you make wood work. P.S. Wood, home of Timberwolf Swedish silicon steel bandsaw blades and super sharp scroll saw blades. A bed to sleep on. A table to share meals. A house that feels like a home. The Furniture Bank of Central Ohio, providing furniture to neighbors in need.
For more information on tips behind the American Woodshop and watch free episodes 24/7, check us out online and like us on Facebook.